Andi Dorfman stunned former Flame Nick Viall by showing up at his hotel room during his surprise return Monday on The Bachelor. As Nick, 36, waited nervously in his room in Brooklyn, New York, for a rose ceremony with the Final Four, he was surprised by an unexpected knock on the door. "Hello, Nick," Andi greeted him, with host Chris Harrison teasing the next episode by saying, "The woman who broke Nick's heart is back." Andi, who rejected him for Josh Murray in her season as the Bachelorette, was then seen sitting on his hotel couch as Nick poured her a drink. Nick asked her, "This is very unexpected. What am I supposed to say?" "You're supposed to be honest," Andi, 29, replied, with viewers in the dark over exactly what they were discussing. But the effect on Nick was obvious, with him admitting to her, "I mean, this is blowing my mind." The show also hinted that her appearance was more than a casual call, with host Chris in a voiceover asking, "What does it mean for the rest of Nick's journey?" Nick was then seen admitting, "I'm not sure what's going to happen. I have a lot to think about and I'm running out of time." He also admitted that his history on the show was playing heavily on his mind. Nick, who also failed to find love on Bachelor in Paradise, broke show etiquette after being rejected by Andi by asking why she was intimate with him in the fantasy suite if she favored Josh. The software salesman, in addition to Andi, also was previously rejected by Kaitlyn Bristow on her season of The Bachelorette. "I fell in love twice here. And had my heart broken twice. My biggest fear is that will happen again," he said. "If I was the first Bachelor to get rejected I would be devastated," Nick admitted. The episode had seen Nick meet the families of his final four women in their hometowns, with a particularly awkward confrontation with Vanessa Grimaldi's dad Pat. Pat initially refused to give his blessing, humiliating Nick at having asked three other fathers the same question. It included a visit with Rachel Lindsay's family, even though she has already been announced as next season's Bachelorette, ruling her out as Nick's final pick. But it also meant that he finally got to meet one of the biggest personalities on the season, current Olympios' nanny Raquel. Ever since the 24-year-old business owner admitted to having a nanny to help her at home despite being an adult business owner, it has been a point of ridicule among the other girls and obvious intrigue for Nick. And he seemed excited to finally meet who he called the infamous Raquel when he visited Corinne's very Greek family in their high-rise home in Miami. "I've heard so much about you, can I give you a hug?" he greeted her affectionately, with Corinne's mother calling the nanny part of our family. "She's their second mom. I couldn't do a lot of things without her," the mom admitted. He also had a heart-to-heart with Raquel, who told him, "You know, I love Corinne very much, like my daughters. I don't want you hurt to her because she is like my daughter." After Nick called Corinne an amazing, beautiful, fun-loving, sweet person, Raquel smiled. "I asked her if she loved you. She say she love you too. So she is happy, I'm happy." Corinne had started the date by showing her extravagant style, taking him shopping in some of Miami's most exclusive boutiques, and spending $3,423.80 on a new outfit for him to wear to meet her family. "I always thought I had expensive taste, and then I met Corinne," Nick admitted, adding, "She wants to show me an ordinary day for Corinne, which is an unordinary day to literally everyone else. If Corinne and I end up together I might have to get a couple of jobs." But she also showed her serious side and was the only one of the final four to tell him she loved him. After admitting that Nick is the kind of guy that I've never pictured myself being worthy of having, she admitted that her love in part comes from how he'd accepted her bad girl behavior during the season. "I see a person who cares about Corinne, the good, the bad, the embarrassed," she told her dad Jim. "He's been there through everything. He sees a lot more than other people see in me." She then told her mother, "I love him. This is very real. I am in love with Nick, and if he chooses any of the other three girls I am going to be heartbroken." He was a hit with the family, with Jim, whose only concern was Nick earning enough money to keep his daughter in the lifestyle she is used to, admitting, "I liked him even more than I thought I was going to like him." But he had a far different experience meeting Vanessa's family, even after the day started seemingly perfect as she took him to see her adults who she teaches special education classes to in her hometown of Montreal in Canada. The tension hit, however, as soon as he went to see Vanessa's mother Mary and 15 loud Italian people in the family. They all seemed concerned that he was going to break her heart, similar to the devastation caused by the ending of her last relationship. "I'm just really scared for her, like, really scared," Sister Melissa told Nick, leaving him in tears along with her as she added, "Like, I'll hate you if you break her heart. I really will. Vanessa was in tears of her own as she told her mother, I'm falling in love with this person and I haven't felt like that in so long. I just don't want your heart to be broken, Mary admitted, saying on camera later, she's invests so much of herself, and when things go wrong she gets heartbroken, and I have to pick her up again. And I don't want to go through this again, because it's tough on me too. Nick admitted it was tense and not as smooth as he hoped, but nothing compared to how badly it went when he went to see her father Pat. I just can't give you my blessing, just like this, he told him bluntly when he asked for it. You have 3 other women that you went to their home. Did you ask their blessing also? When Nick said in a way and Pat snapped, what do you mean ran it by them? It's yes or no. After talking it through, with Nick awkwardly insisting the best he could promise in this very unique and weird situation was to only want to do the right thing for Vanessa, Pat finally said, listen. I'm going to give you my blessing. However, he admitted later, when Nick asked me for the blessing I was shocked. It's the first time I meet him and it was sudden. But he sounded honest. I just want her to be happy, I don't want her to be hurt anymore. I'm very protective. Vanessa was thrown into doubt of her own when her dad revealed that Nick had asked for permission from the families of all 4 final girls, saying, it makes me question whether Nick knows at this point I'm the one that he wants to be with. Now I'm questioning whether or not my judgment is off. I'm scared I'm going to regret all of this. With tears, she added, I'm just scared. Nick's date with Raven Gates, 25, had the sexiest moment of the night as they got muddy in some fields and Raven straddled him after stripping off his shirt. Raven and I have really strong physical chemistry. As great as it is, I don't think we've really tapped into the potential that our relationship has, Nick said. She also tricked him into thinking they were in trouble with the police at one point, with the officer actually being her older brother Weston. Their visit with her parents was then full of tears of joy when Raven's dad Wesley told her that his doctor had told him he was finally free of cancer. A few months ago I legitimately thought I was going to lose my dad, she sobbed, also telling her father that if he had not been around there is no other man that would ever walk me down the aisle, I'd walk alone. Nick made a good impression with the family, with her dad admitting with a laugh, I didn't expect to like you, I don't know what, but I didn't. You're a very likable guy. She had gone into the date determined to finally tell him she loved him, instead leaving him smiling sweetly as she nervously stumbled over her words, falling short by saying there would be no hesitation on my end of what becomes of this. He was basically opening the door for me to say it, but I couldn't do it, she said later. It's just so hard for me to say I love you because I don't want to be rejected and I don't like to show my weakness at all. Now I'm just worried that I might be the only one. I'm feeling like the moment might have passed me by, Raven said. Race played a huge part in Nick's date with new Bachelorette star Rachel, 31, starting with the visit to her almost all-black church in Dallas, Texas, and almost all her family's questions to Nick being about how he would handle an interracial relationship. Elephant in the room, have you ever dated a black girl? Her mother Kathy asked him, with Nick having admitted, it is the first serious relationship I've been in with a black woman, and with Rachel also never haven't taken a white man home before. He told her mother, I have very strong feelings for your daughter because of who she is as a person, my attraction to her and how special I know she is. I like for the woman she is, she just happens to be black. Rachel, meanwhile, held back on her feelings, merely telling her mother, is Nick somebody that I could see myself falling in love with? Absolutely.